welcome. Welcome to the first episode, the very first episode of Wisdom Wednesday with my beautiful, very beautiful co-host here,
Just
Miss
waking up.
Tammy Gaten, the butterfly. I said I wasn't gonna say anything, but you know me, I
Oh,
can't
you can
help
say
myself.
it. Oh, because let me tell you,
Yeah,
first of all, let's not say it. Let's just go and put it where it is. I stayed up waiting for you to call back about this. And I had to call you because I'm in the bed 8, 9 o'clock. So
if
when you call,
I worked on Conversation in Prime Time last night, had to cut some tape, got in bed about 12:30, 1 o'clock,
I don't,
back up at it again.
well,
This is what true purpose is called, ladies and gentlemen, for Tammy and myself. We've been doing this for a very number of years. And very happy to have my friend back in the saddle here with me on the podcast, with the new podcast. You know, we've done many podcasts over the years with many different names. And this one we called it Wisdom Wednesdays. This is Tammy's baby. I'm just here for the ride.
what?
So, hey, man. I'm sorry, say it again.
You're just here for the ride?
Nah, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. You know what I
Okay.
mean. Yeah. Welcome. How you feeling, lady?
I'm tired this morning. I am.
Is that right?
That's why you had
Well,
to.
I did say coffee or tea, and looks like you brought your coffee. I brought
I
my
had
tea.
to. I would not be here if I didn't have this right now. Thank you for
Good
waking me
stuff.
up.
Good stuff.
Thank you for waking me up. So, y'all, this is new. It's been a minute. It's been a real minute for me, a real minute. I don't think, well, you and I jumped on really quick on TikTok or about a month or so
Yeah.
ago. And that
Yeah.
was the first time since the end of 2024 for me. Um, won't talk about much about that today, but we've been talking about coming back, and it's needed. I'll say it's needed for me, especially the Wisdom Wednesdays, because it's about, to me, it's about being rooted in God, in God's word, in God's, being a child of God, right? And what does that mean? Because for me personally, I don't know how people are really, really doing life um, with the absence of God, and not just knowing Him, but knowing that you know Him,
Right.
knowing that I know that I know that I know. And that's just for me. It may not be for everybody. Somebody might be say different. I'm good. I do me. Um, I do me too, but I do me with God. So for
That
me,
is
it's kind of draw me closer than I'm trying to draw nearer and closer to God. I want my heart to keep going home towards God. To me, that's home, back to my original state, so that I can not just hear His word, abide to it, know that it's Him speaking, and so forth. So for me, it's just a way for us to connect on another, all of us that feel that way, that have that longing for a different type of relationship. I want the kind that my grandmother had, Trent, that your mom had, right?
like,
Who lived life like, okay, what? Okay, that's happening. Okay,
there it
they never,
is.
they
There it
didn't
is.
seem to fall.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. Yeah, I could totally get that. Totally understand. Um, for me, I could not, at this moment, this very moment in my life, I could not do life without God. Um, 6.5 years ago, suffered a massive setback. And honestly, if I did not have that conversation and went to that place, I wouldn't be able to walk this path so graciously, so effortlessly. When I tell you I haven't suffered not one time since I hit that floor with the bleed on the brain and having that conversation, not one time. I was given instructions, and here I am. It's always going back to this, always going back to this. No matter how many podcasts I do, It goes back to the original here, right here with her, with Tammy. That's who I was instructed to call. I'm just following instructions. I tell people all the time, I'm just following instructions. Oh man, you make it look so easy. It's not me. It's what's in me.
Mm.
It's what was placed in me. I cannot, would not be doing this life without my instructions and without the energy. I call him the energy. I call the Alpha, the Omega, the beginning and the end, the energy. So I totally get it. Totally, totally get it.
But you said you follow instructions, so that goes back to knowing kind of what I was talking about earlier, knowing God's voice, right? The day we hear His
It-
voice, y'all remember that part, so that you know my perfect will for you. Y'all, sometimes, most times, we're so distracted. And it's not that God is not talking to all of us. I truly believe all of us are getting advice, instructions, the perfect will for our lives being spoken into our lives. But we're so distracted. We're so caught up in our own ways, right? Perceptions, projections of life, or our own understanding. Maybe it's a better word for the verse that I'm going to choose for this morning. We're so caught up in our own understanding, right? And what Proverb says, lean not into your own understanding, but trust, because our understanding, it's so off. Just
right.
this week, I realized how many times, and I've been trying to do better about this part of my life. I will take something and I will sew it up. I mean, I know, I think I know all about it, everything. And most times, now that I'm being watchful of this, it is
Hmm.
nothing that I have summed it up to be in my head. Nothing.
Right.
Now, that being said, it doesn't mean that there's no discerning of some things that is right, but you have to create balance.
Right.
And that's what I'm trying to do, create balance in my life and know God's perfect will for my life. But how do I know that? It's to hear his voice, to be ye transformed by the renewing of my mind. And if
Let me tell you
I
something.
renew my mind, I have to understand my mind and call it out when it's going the
Yeah.
wrong way. Go ahead,
You
Ken.
know, you say hear his voice. Hearing his voice alone got my mind right. Let's take out what instruction I was given. Hearing his voice alone changed my complete life. My entire life was changed just by hearing his voice.
Okay, I
The
have a
instructions
question
is
for
one
you.
thing.
I have a
Go ahead.
question for you. Um, think about a time that his voice was still alive and talking to you. Would you say you heard it and rejected it? Maybe rejected is a hard word, but the time where you heard his voice but still did what Trent wanted to do.
I wouldn't say rejected it. I'd say I didn't understand. Because even
Okay.
from a
Okay.
child around 5 or 6, I started hearing him. I didn't understand.
Okay.
Like, you know, I guess now I would call it discernment, but hearing his voice, I started hearing him around I was about 5 or 6, something like that. I just didn't understand. And that's when it started, 5 or 6. And from that moment, I've always had that great, great, great discernment. And now as an adult, it was always him.
So,
It
how
was
did you
always
come to
Yahweh.
understand it for people who are trying to? I know one of the first questions, interesting, one of the first questions I had when I truly was in a time when I was ready, right? When I was ready to
Hmm.
get to know God more, to turn my life around, right?
Right.
Matter of fact, and it was just before 9/11 happened when I really started seeking God in a different way. Like I would go to church, but
Hmm.
for myself, I started seeking God. And I remember asking so many people, how do I know when it's God? How do I know? I asked so many people.
You're
And
gonna know.
one of the common answers is you will know.
You're gonna know. You're gonna
You will
definitely know.
know. But y'all,
That's
it
it.
took me a while to know. Like I would second guess it. So that's what I'm saying. I think a lot of people, if we would all be honest, we have struggled with the same thing, because it still took me. I'm like, what do
Right.
they mean? So when I'm trying to make decisions on major decisions, I would hear one thing, but I felt like I was also hearing another thing. But I believe that changed the more I grew in His Word and started to know and stop lying to myself. Because some things I
Right.
was trying to make decisions about shouldn't have been up for debate.
Right.
So,
You're gonna definitely know. I know for me personally, I just knew. I didn't question. I didn't do any of that stuff because the energy that was given to me and his entire aura. I mean, it was just something I've never ever experienced ever again in my life. I'll never forget.
oh, so you're speaking of a specific time. What
Yeah.
happened to you? Now, okay, that's different. So, because most people, some people won't go through a life changing moment in such that you did, and I can say that I did myself with the death,
Yeah.
true death experience. It's different. That hits different. If you
Now
get to
you
come back,
understand exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Now
Mhm.
I wasn't going to touch on mine, but not today. But if you leave this world and you get, for me, I'm gonna say this: I left here, and then I got a sense of whatever else, whatever is beyond here, and thank God. I didn't always feel this way, but again, I'm gonna talk about that story. I'm gonna let Trent do that another day, that podcast. I wasn't so sure that I was supposed to be back here, right? And I'm assuming I'm basing that on where I was allowed to go and see and all of that.
Mhm.
But I'm back. But it, to me, the more important part is now it's like, I feel like, and Trent, you're probably this way too, because you're a knucklehead. And if there's a female version of knucklehead, I don't know what it would be. But I
Right.
feel for
You.
but what's the knucklehead word for female? I don't know.
Let's just call it knucklehead. Let's call it knucklehead.
Knucklehead. Like I am a man. I feel like God had to do that. Had to say, like, let me just go ahead and sit. Let me make her sit down and do this the right
Yeah.
way. Right, wrong way. Because I feel like I'm just kind of one of those people. Even with God, and I'm feeling like God said, okay, we're gonna do this. So let me show you what's gonna happen. Let me show you who's really in control in a major way.
Exactly.
And so
Yeah.
it hit different, and life hits different, and I'm different. But for people who don't, because not everybody's going to go through that life, we shouldn't have to. Like, y'all shouldn't have to. We did it for you. How about that? Let's just say that. Because
Exactly.
it's a difficult situation, but a beautiful situation. On this side of it, I
Exactly.
wouldn't change it. I embrace it. I wouldn't change it for the world. But I need,
You know,
and it
one
left
of the
me.
things, one of the things that I felt was I was like, damn, why did I have to come back here?
I did
That
too.
place was different,
Yeah.
so different to where it's like, damn, why did I have to come back here? After experiencing that, then coming back to this, but I came back with instructions. So it's a little easier. But if I had it my way, I would have stayed.
Hmm.
I just got to keep it a buck. I would have stayed, you know,
Hmm.
because it's so much comfort and reassurance and everything in that place. Like it's indescribable, man. I mean, it's just a phenomenal place to be in. Even in that situation, to this point right now, I am still running off the adrenaline 6.5 years later. I am completely changed. I'm talking about mentally, physically. People see a limp when they see me, but I don't see that. I don't see that at all. They busy, watching the walk. I'm focused on the destination. Completely different. completely transformed.
Mm.
I was prepared. I was prepared for this, and I'm going to finish this race. I can guarantee you that.
What is this? If you had to, if people said, okay, you said, I'm prepared for this. What is this to you? What's the meaning of this for you?
The
Whatever.
last part of the instructions was when I asked, why was I, why was I, why do I have to do this? He said, they need to know who I am and what I can do.
Mm, mm, okay.
I was
Okay.
blind, got the sight back, couldn't walk, bedridden, and walking. Actually, I'm ready to go to the gym here in about another 30, 35 minutes. I've been consistently going to the gym 4 to 5 days a week for 6.5 years in this condition, doing things that my doctor said could not be done. I've gone against my doctor's orders for 6.5 years. I'm cold dipping in 45, 50, sometimes 40 temperatures, 5 to 10 minutes a day. I should not be doing that. I'm walking laps in an Olympic sized pool. I should not be doing that. And working out consistently, yoga, everything. Something they said that I should not be doing and could not be doing. But here I am. Why? Because of the energy. Why? Because of I was in his presence. So what
Mm,
looks difficult to most is very easy for me. But it's not me doing it. It's what was placed in me. So that's this. I became the example to let them know that hey, this is anything's possible on this side of life.
mm,
Anything, you know. I won't be deterred. I will not be stopped until I reach that destination. Period.
mm.
So
You
purpose
know, Trent, I'm
field,
going to
know my
go.
purpose and everything. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Know your purpose. No, you're fine. So we were talking briefly about the scripture that I played the game on Facebook that gives you like your Bible verse, right? Your
Yeah.
scripture for
Mhm.
your, and mine came out Proverbs 3 and 5 through I guess 6 or maybe 7.
Mhm.
And for those of you, I'll read it. Trust in the Lord, kind of what we've all been talking about, but trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not onto your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to Him, and He will make your path straight. And it goes on to say a little bit, it encourages relying on divine wisdom over limited human understanding, promising guidance when actively acknowledging God in all life's decisions.
Right.
When it gets so personal, you guys, to where you are talking and seeking God's advice on things that people will be like, why do you need that for? Why do you need to go to God for that? Like all things, all things. And I'm gonna tell you guys, I find myself all day having these small, what some people would say, just unimportant conversations with God about even the little smallest things of my life. Just having that conversation with Him, not to the point where it's become so natural. Like it used to be kind of, oh gosh, I didn't pray today. Oh gosh, I didn't do this. Da da da.
Right.
But it's like it's not a thing that I have to go do. It's a thing that I do all day,
Right.
all day. Because y'all, people leave the house and don't come back. So if you're not talking and praying and leaning on divine wisdom, leaning on it, calling for it, like setting your life up for it, this world and the people of today will eat you up, chew
That's
you,
right.
spit you out, and want you to put yourself back together so that they can do it again. So if you're not equipped with the knowledge of God and an understanding of who He is and who you are because He is, your life is out of order. And I'm just gonna say, and it may not look that way to you, because sometimes we get so accustomed to life being like it is that we don't know that there's a peace that surpasses all understanding that some of us have never tapped into. And I was one of those people.
Yeah.
And I will be I don't know how old I'll be. Birthday's Friday, y'all. Remember that. But I will this I've never been in this place out of all these years in my life. Now I know what I looked at one of my grandmas as a little girl. I looked at her when she had lost one of her sons, one of my uncles, at a very young age. Got
Right.
hit by a train trying to cross a train. And that was just one of the times that I looked at her. But that's one memorable time where I thought, what is wrong with my grandma? Like, why isn't she crying? But because she was praising God, like she was thanking God for the time she had with him.
Right.
Her business with God did not change. Her faith, her trust. See, now I get it. She knew that she had him, but he was not hers, the son,
Right.
right? That he belonged to God and that God knew best, right? That sounds so crazy. But some of those people back then had the kind of faith
Yeah.
that you would not understand unless, and trust, faith, trust,
Yeah.
and that you don't understand until you get to that point where you got it, and
Yeah.
the
When
peace that
you
surpasses all things.
One thing that just stuck out with me when came to mind rather when we talk about peace, I entered a situation, and as you know, I've never had the best of relationships with one of my brothers, but when I acquired peace, when I acquired that peace that you're speaking of, he was drawn to me. My peace pulled him into me, if you understand what I'm saying.
Mhm.
My peace pulled him into me. Now we're in harmony. Nothing I did, but the peace within me pulled him to me. When I tell you we have the best relationship because of that peace, because that storm was calmed and he wanted
And
some
it's the
of it.
storms that it's the storms were calmed, the storm
Yeah,
in him and the storm in you. And so that's the
exactly.
beautiful part about growing too, y'all. Everything changes when you be transformed
Everything.
by renewing your mind. There's nothing around you that will not change, and it may not change right away because there is work to be done.
It'll
You have
happen.
to
Yeah.
work what's been worked.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry to say that again, Trent. Didn't
I
mean to
said
hit.
it'll happen in time. So you just have to be
Yeah.
patient with peace because once you acquire it, that's something totally different. That's on a whole different realm. It's on a whole
Yeah.
different realm. But
Yeah.
when he was pulled into me, everything became one and harmony began and things just started hitting on all cylinders. I'm proud of the relationship that we've built because of that peace,
So let me
you
ask you
know?
this about that relationship. Did you all have a conversation? Did a conversation finally come to where?
Yeah,
Or, yes. Okay. I
yeah,
think
we
that's
had that
what we missed.
conversation.
You did have the conversation. Yo, you
Yeah,
have to have the conversation with people. I'm glad you brought it up about the relationships because some of the problems we have with people, or issues, especially with those people who are God-given people. They say you can pick your friends,
right.
but don't get to choose your family. Is missing a conversation.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And when I
missing a
tell you
true
that, like,
conversation.
we're in so much harmony where I was thinking the other day, um, we were doing renovations here at the house, right? And had some items come, some big ticket items that was really heavy. And he had went to dinner with a friend, so I'm here by myself. And I started me being me, like Tammy said, being a knucklehead. I started cutting the box open myself and wanted to get it done. And he had been working because he had came in on Friday and he didn't stop working around the house until he needed a break. He really needed a break. So his friend picked him up and they went out to dinner and all that good stuff and whatnot. But I was being a little bit selfish because I wanted it done now. And so I started cutting the box open and moving the thing around in the podcast studio and trying to do it myself. So he came in and he was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I gotta get this done." So he gently nudged me. He didn't push me, he nudged me. "Man, get out of the way. I don't want you to hurt yourself." That meant the world to me.
Mm,
That meant the world to me. That he cared and didn't want me to hurt myself.
mm,
So I politely did like a little brother would do. I just sat there and watched him put it together for me. Just those simple words said, "I love you," something that we hadn't spoke of
mm,
since we were kids.
mm.
That meant the world to me.
And it's so important for people to know it's not, things are not happening to us, they're happening for us and for God. So for us, but for God.
Yeah,
It's to bring people to closer to God, to the kingdom of God,
yeah,
for them to see God in us, through us. And requires, that we surrender to our ways,
and,
to our thinking, all of that, to the
yeah.
things that, the knuckleheadness, all of that.
And the
It
one
requires
thing
certain
I'll
change.
break protocol here real quick. 1 second. The one thing he said that made me laugh because he saw me getting emotional. He said, "Man, sometimes I forget you have a different ability because you always talking shit." So he said, "Sometimes I forget. Sometimes I forget." That's that's him calling.
Oh, wow. That's him calling. I guess he's going to take that. So, you guys, this is, you there?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
actually that was him calling.
Yeah. Yeah. How ironic, huh?
Isn't that
Is he
something?
watching?
I'm not sure. No,
Oh,
I didn't
probably not
listen.
because he would have called.
Yeah,
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 probably not. So, to me, again, you guys, there was a part of me when Trent called this morning because he called, I overslept. But there was a part of me was like, oh my gosh, maybe we should wait. And I was like, the part that God's been speaking to is, no, you've waited long enough. Go do what I told you to do. Right. Um, so y'all, this is what it's about. Share, for those of you who will hear this, get something from it, share it. For right now, to start, we're planning to be every Wednesday, 6 o'clock a.m. It gives you a jump start. I've had some people say, why are you doing it so early? But you're up doing everything else, right?
right, right,
You're
right,
up doing everything else. So if you find yourself just going through, feeling like you keep going and going and going, but you keep passing the same places, the same people, and attracting the same things in your life. If you
right,
feel that, then you got to do something different. You have to figure out how to give God more of your time, all of your time. Seek ye first the kingdom of God in everything, in everything. Now, does that mean life will be without issues? Absolutely not. But the issues become so small to you because it's not my fight. I'm not fighting this fight. I'm seeking and serving God. God is fighting my battles. This battle is not mine. Now that doesn't mean, let me tell y'all this. Something else has happened for me since this moment. It doesn't mean I won't fight. We're
Right.
talking about two different fights here. So that doesn't mean I don't have an opinion, a voice. Matter of fact, mine has grown. So that's the one thing I found in seeing, not just with me and in other people who are really, really seeking God in a different way. I was having a conversation with a young lady last night, um, who's going through a situation, and she said, usually I wouldn't say anything, but she said something right away about something that was going on in her life. And I said, there you go. See, sometimes God just want to know, are you willing to change your ways? And what he changes for you may be different for me.
Yep.
And
I totally
oftentimes
agree.
it's taking people and flipping them inside out. If you were a person that would not say anything, and now you will, that's some changing that's taking place in you. Don't fight that. I do know
Right.
one thing about the people of God is we got to start speaking up. We have to start saying and doing something about evil. Because y'all, we're dealing with evil. Evil
We
people.
definitely are.
Yeah. Spirits,
Yeah.
spiritual warfare. We are in the midst of it. But God is in the midst of it and has it all. But he needs us. He has us, right? It's just that sometimes we
Right.
don't know where we are within him. So,
Good
um,
stuff, man. Good stuff.
yeah, yeah.
Real good stuff. Real good stuff. And my Bible verse for this morning is Psalm 23. That's my favorite Bible verse ever. What's so funny about that? Even before the incident, that was my favorite Bible verse. And during the incident, I was told I've always loved you like I love David. When I asked him, never leave me. When I asked him not to leave me, it's like, what are you talking about? I've always loved you like I love David. You know, and that's my forever favorite because I walked this path fearless, knowing that I'm good, knowing
Mm-hmm.
that I am good. In any situation, I'm calm with this recovery or the process of it. When something new arises or pops up, medical situation or anything, I'm always calm because I know the outcome. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm never rushed. I'm never anxious or anything like that. I just allow things to come to me. You know, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. This well, Wisdom Wednesdays. I think it's good for my soul, man. Good for our soul.
It's gonna be real. It's
Yeah.
gonna be good. This one's it's our first one. It'll go down in history because I cannot believe I overslept. That this one had to call and wake me up. Cannot believe that. So that
Because
means I
she
got.
would not allow me to talk trash to her. She know I'm gonna talk trash, but hey,
No, you can. I'm talking trash. I cannot believe that. But hey, it is what it is. That just
mhm.
tells me that I need to get more rest because usually I'm up and at it, y'all. 4:30 the latest. And I
But
mean when it.
in all fairness, she was doing my job. The platform. She went in and did something that I did not do. She tinkered around with the new platform that we have because normally we're on StreamYard. I won't say why we ditched StreamYard, but we ditched StreamYard. And we both ran it effortlessly, but this is a new learning curve for us that we're gonna conquer again. So we've been doing this. Tammy and I have been doing this for a number of years, very long time. Before they started calling it podcast, we was doing it when it was broadcasting. So with no cameras. So we
Yeah.
will turn that mountain into a molehill. I guarantee you that.
Definitely. It'll be perfected each time we start. You'll see a little bit something different because I learned. I'm glad I did do it last night because it gave me an opportunity to kind of touch and feel the new platform.
Yeah.
Um, but y'all, we're not going to stay here long. Of course, things to do. But y'all, just for those of you who are listening, will listen. Um, like we do have someone out there, or is that you? Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Um, Prepare yourself to join us on Wednesday mornings at 6 o'clock. Bring someone with you. Bring a Bible verse. You'll be able to chat with us um, right in the chat.
Yeah.
Um, we'll have a guest link out there on the page where you will. We'll go to different platforms, more platforms as well. But we'll also put the link out for next Wednesday. And Trent, I believe from what I saw last night, we can do this to set it up as a reoccurring event with the same link,
Okay.
so that
Perfect.
people, we won't have to keep sending it out there. We can, set it up and you'll be able to jump on um, each week and bring someone with you. We're going to grow together. And I want to really make sure that people know, for us on this side, that because we're sitting on this side of the platform, it doesn't mean that we don't experience life and people,
Exactly.
because we
Every
do
day.
every day. Boy, if I could
Every
sit here
day.
and tell y'all some of the things I got going on in my life right now, you'd be like, "Oh, child, you need to be off this platform, right?" And but no, that's what brings me to this platform. That's
Yeah.
what made me get on up when Trent called and say, "You know what? No, I got to go do this
Exactly.
because
Well, and you know why when you say you got to go do that? Because you're happening to life. You're not allowing life to happen to you. You're happening to it. You know what I'm saying? We're all in the driver's seat. We just have to take the wheel.
oh, wait a minute, Trent. See, you guys, I'm fumbling around. We got people out there. Big Alvin's out there. Good morning.
Al Sal,
Um,
what's going on, baby? I'll see you at the gym in
Candy.
about 20
Is
minutes.
there Candy? Yeah, I'm trying. Forgive me if I say it
Oh,
wrong.
Hey, that's Candy. That's the coach that I'm gonna introduce you to. Hey, Candy, thank you
Hey,
for tuning in.
Candy. I am
Yeah,
looking
yeah, yeah.
forward to meeting you. Let's talk. Let's talk. I have not even touched on, neither one
We're
of
gonna
us
get
have
that
touched on
assessment out to her first before
what
we do
we're
that.
doing.
We're gonna get that
Yes.
assessment out to Candy. I'll do that today after I get from the gym. Then
Okay.
we'll
Now,
make the
where is
introduction.
Candy from? What state?
She's originally from New Orleans, but she lives in Houston. She's been in Houston
Candy
over
lives in
20
Houston.
years. Yeah,
Oh, Candy, we got to talk. My best friend just moved there. So look, I'm
I
gonna be
think.
coming up there. Tika's there.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. You did say that. You did
Yeah,
say that.
she had to move there for medical reasons, but she's there and she loves it, and her body is already responding just to,
It's
and
good
y'all, this
stuff.
to peace. Her body is responding because where she was, she hated where she lived,
Right.
totally, but has always wanted to come back to Texas, and now she's there, and just Trent, my 111
Yeah.
thing. Her address is 111. And so of
She's
course
supposed
she
to
took
be there.
that. Yeah, she's supposed to be there.
Yes.
So we took that as just a sign from God. But you guys, I don't know. And I don't know how we missed that, but Trent, I'll figure that out later, how we
Yes,
missed
that's
it.
it. Again, I'll blame it on myself because
No, it's okay.
yeah.
I think I know where to look now for it because it didn't pop up. So I have to check the settings on that to make sure that it
Okay.
does pop up when people make a comment. Um,
Good stuff.
yeah,
Good
but we'll
stuff.
figure it out, you guys. And thank y'all for getting up and joining us this morning. And if you've heard something, for me, I'm an open book. Like so, for y'all,
Very
if you
transparent.
and that's different for me. Like, see, I used to be like, I need to put my business right. Like, what it is, what it is. I
Exactly.
don't. It's
Yeah.
gonna it's gonna happen. So let's go
Yeah.
ahead and let's just put it out there. So hopefully you've heard something that you will take away from here today and add to it. Add to
Exactly.
it. Help us here because we're all
But
in this together.
exactly. The first episode is in the can, Wisdom Wednesdays, with the wonderful, beautiful butterfly herself, Miss Tammy Gator, my very, 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 very close friend. We truly appreciate you guys for joining us, waking up very early in the morning I'm not only used to these because I do the nutrition edition of the conversation with Captain Getu over in France, but this hits a little different when we going straight in talking about God. So so this is gonna be a good one. I feel good about it. Feel very good about it. Very good. So good stuff, Tammy. Thank you for this, man. Thank you for always coming up with these wonderful things, wonderful ideas, and always something new. Always
Mm.
something new. So, to
Let
keep
life
us
be
moving
new every
forward.
day, y'all. Let life be new every day. It's something Rodney said, and we're gonna get off here for real. When
Okay.
Rodney and I was doing the show, and I thought about this the other day, Rodney said, I give people a clean sheet of paper every day.
Yeah.
So what they said to me is he allows yesterday to be left behind, but now you have a new piece of paper, right? And I get that. So what do you write on it? What do you write into our relationship today? But with that, you guys, if you keep writing the same, if people keep writing the same thing on the piece of paper, the clean piece of paper that you give them every day, it's up to you. It becomes up to you at some point. What are we
It's like
doing here?
you gotta continue to do things that you've always
Right,
done.
right,
So
right.
yeah,
People will
I
do
get it.
what you allow them to do. But I love the fact that he said that's kind of grace to me. You giving people grace to grow
Mhm.
into their own thing. But we're going to get deeper into that because although this is about God, it's also going to be about, um, of course, our relationship with God individually, all of us. But it's also going to be about life
Yeah.
because
And
that's
a ton of something we can't forget, a ton of accountability. A ton of accountability because that's the first road to change. Accountability.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Good
For
stuff, man.
yourself,
Real good stuff.
starting with
Yep.
yourself.
Yeah.
Hold yourself
So the gym is
accountable.
calling me. The gym is calling me. My driver will be here in a moment. But this is good. I'm looking forward to Wednesday already.
All right, let's
You
do
want to
it.
close out, Tammy?
I will. You guys go be great. Wisdom Wednesday. Take this wisdom with you and bring some back for us because we need you as well. We'll see you next Wednesday, same time. Share this with someone, bring someone. Y'all go be great.
You guys be epic.